Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day. I am coming to you live again for one of my weekly live streams. And today I wanted to talk to you and give you a few different mindset shifts that need to be made in order for you to begin to discover and build your wardrobe. So today we're just going to dive right on in. If you're new, welcome. If you are watching the replay, welcome. And I hope you enjoy it. And of course, if you have any comments or anything, please put them in the comments below. And if you have any links that I discuss, they will all be in the description box. And of course, if you're on Instagram, there'll be a link in my bio. So let's get started. So today I want to talk to you about three mindset shifts to improve your personal style. So this is whether it's your personal style or your professional style. And around here it's professional, but we're talking you can use this for both. So number 1, being comfortable with not being seen. Now, a few weeks ago, I did a live stream about how we have actually become comfortable with not being seen. And that kind of hinders us a little bit as we try to advance in our careers, if we want to advance in our personal life, or even if we want to advance in our entrepreneurial goals and aspirations. So, what does this exactly mean by being comfortable with not being seen? Well, number one, that means we have to get out of our comfort zones, of course. And these don't have to be these huge, big changes or anything that you would have to make. So, for example, I'll use me for an example. Maybe about a month ago, I was at work and I had on something very simple, nothing too major, but just a pair of jeans. I had on a pair of flats. I had on a white tank top not tank top, but a white t-shirt that had graphics on it. And I had a blazer on and was literally minding my own business, walking around, doing whatever. And someone said that I never would have thought said anything, said, "Oh my gosh, I like that look on you." And it kind of took me aback because I wasn't expecting it, but that just also goes to show you that how you dress, people see it even if they don't acknowledge it. And when they see that you look good in something, they're going to say, "Oh, I like that look on you." And when you, for me, getting that compliment, it was sort of like, "What? Wait a minute. You think this is nice, but to me, it might not have been necessarily, but somebody saw me." So we have to begin to become uncomfortable with being seen. And with that, it is definitely going to be hard. And you also have to remember that in your career, people have to see you. It's more than just doing the work, but they have to see you as someone that they could put you in a position of authority or your next level role that you want to be in, even for interviews and promotion. Yes, we could have stellar resumes, we can have stellar reviews, but if someone doesn't see you and see you in a particular role, say a director role or an executive role, they're not necessarily going to put you there. So we have to break the mold and get out of our comfort zones and allow ourselves to be seen in a great and positive light. And I will definitely be going through over the next few weeks and months on how we can actually do that and actually take you on my journey as I do that as well. So the first is being comfortable with not being seen. So the next one is thinking that our style and image doesn't matter. I know a lot of people will tell you that, but they're wrong, because how we look and our style absolutely does matter, because it helps us in a few ways. It may not always it in several ways. It not only helps with how others see you, but it also helps you see yourself in a different light. And it helps you with building confidence and it helps you stand out, and you have to learn to discover and embrace your style. So I like to call our clothes when we wear them as like our armor. So when we walk out in the morning, it is our armor and we feel confident, we feel powerful, we feel great, and we feel like, depending on what we have on, we can tackle the world. And imagine if you just make one small change. What's that one thing that gives you that extra oomph that you need when you get dressed? And if you don't know what that is also fine. You want to begin to find and figure out what that is because our style matters. And sometimes we may not see ourselves in a certain way, but people do see us in a certain way. So if you, and I'll use an example of going back to a director role, you have to be in front of people. So if they don't see that you can be put in front of people, why are they going to put you in there? Because remember, if you're in front of people, at times you're going to have to be able to command a room. With just you walking in, taking control of a room without saying a thing. That is how powerful how you look can be. That it always speaks for and before you, and people make a judgment of you by that in 7 seconds or less. So you always want to remember that your style and your image does matter. Even if you start with something as very basic but makes a huge impact, are the details. So you want to definitely remember and always keep in your mind if somebody says, "Oh, how you look doesn't matter in your professional world." Nope, that's wrong. They're not telling you the truth. It does matter. And it also matters as well as what industry you're into. So also from one industry to another. So if you're in tech, that's going to be a little more laid back. If you're in finances, that's going to be a little more dressy, a little more conservative, and you can't do as much as you would want to do. So, of course, you always want to take that into consideration as well when you're trying and making these mindset shifts that your style and image matters and people still take notice. And I like to call how we look our visual business cards because always speaks for us, and we always want to remember and ask ourselves, what is our style and what is our image saying about us? And once you're able to figure it out what it's currently saying, now you're able to make the necessary changes so that it is speaking for you the way that you want it to speak for you. So, if you're just joining the room, I am going over and talking about the 3 mindset shifts that you need to improve your professional and personal style. And already I've gone over number 1, being comfortable with not being seen. Number 2 was thinking that our style and image doesn't matter. And for the last one, it's stopped being influenced by influencers. Now, this is probably something a little different, in all 3 of the points that I'm making today are probably points that you may have not ever heard from. And for me, I always want to bring you something that is completely different, fresh, and to give you a different perspective and just a different way of thinking about things. So, this was one that was definitely interesting to me when I was doing my research, but it actually does make sense. Influencers are great at inspiring us to look and try new things when it comes to our wardrobe. However, we have to remember that is their style that they are actually showing us. And of all things you want to remember, style is personal. So, what an influencer has, that's their personal style, and it probably took them a while for them to figure that out. So, the same is going to go for you because what's going to happen is if you see an influencer and you like what they're wearing and you go buy that complete outfit and you get it home and you're like, I don't like this. Why? Because that's not your style. Now, you can find something that is similar to that that fits your style. And the last thing I want you to have, and the last thing that you need as a busy professional woman, is a closet full of clothes with nothing to wear. And it's also, you go in and you look at them, and it's also very easy to just start clicking away because they're going to either have the links in the bio, links in the description boxes, depending on what social media platform you're on. They're also going to have links in on the pictures as well, which makes it really easy for you to shop and really quick to just add to cart and keep on moving. But as you begin to discover your style, you'll also learn and be able to determine what would work for you and what wouldn't. Now, I'm not saying you can never buy from an influencer or never say, oh, you know what, that top looks nice, I'm going to buy it. No, I'm not saying that at all. But you have to become more intentional about how you shop and what you buy and what you click on, so that you don't have a bunch of packages at your door, you're rummaging through trying and nothing works. And for me, the one thing I don't like about online shopping, especially for clothes, is that I can't take it back, or I'm probably too lazy to go to the FedEx, post office, UPS, wherever, and actually put them in the mail and send them back for a refund or an exchange for whatever reason. But we have to become a little bit more intentional. And with this, with the influencers, is they're showing you different styles that could put together. But I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you have a foundation? Do you have the foundation that you need to build upon, so that when you are building your wardrobe and your style, you're not heavily influenced, but if you're looking for inspiration, they are definitely your go-to places. So when you're looking at that, your foundation is, of course, your wardrobe essentials. And if you don't have that, and if you need one, I actually have created my CEO wardrobe essentials checklist that you can find if you're on Instagram, in my bio, and if you're on YouTube, in the description box below, to help get you started with that. Because sometimes we never even have that foundation, which causes us sometimes to just start buying and clicking when we see our favorite influencers online, and we just start clicking away. So you have to literally, almost as if discovering and building it is, you're building it like a house. So this way you can be inspired and you can put it on your style board, your style vision boards, but you're not going to be click heavy when you see something, because especially if you need something right away, and you're just going to start clicking away, which is another bad habit, not in a mindset shift that you want to get out of as well, is just going in and not and being able to buy what you need, inspire, and say, you know what, maybe this top doesn't look right, but I like the pants. So I like the pants. So now I have to find a top that kind of fits me. And then you're able to kind of go and flow with that a little bit easier. So, number three is stop being influenced by the influencers. So, to recap everything that I talked about today, one, we have to stop being comfortable with not being seen, because in this world we're seen, and we want to know, how are you being seen and how are you showing up, because that is one of the things that we are going to have to change about, if we want to, especially moving up into our careers, and sometimes just in life in general. Number two, thinking that your image and style doesn't matter. I'm here to tell you it does. Now, you do not have to be dressed to the nines and dressed to the full. It's always going to depend on the industry that you're in, the lifestyle that you live. But how we look definitely matters. And people, unfortunately, we judge people on how they look in less than 7 seconds. And I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you're guilty of it as well. So we want to always take into account that, yes, it does matter. And lastly, and not least, but stop being influenced by influencers. One, this hurts us because, one, it's real easy to start clicking links, adding things to cart. But then what happens is, when it gets to the house, you have a closet full of clothes, nothing to wear, because none of it fits you, none of it suits you. And we have to remember that our style is personal, and that's why it's called personal style. It is personal to you, and my style is personal to me. So what I wear looks good on me, but it may not look good on you. So we have to begin to build that foundation that we need, so that we can build upon that, and so we can actually discover what it is and the style that we want to have for ourselves. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. Be sure to join me next week as I come live again, same time, same places, I think, not for sure yet. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And in the comments below, let me know your takeaways from today's live stream. And I look forward to reading them and joining in the conversation with you. So, with all of that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys next week in my next live stream. Bye, guys.